Hello, and welcome to week 29, I believe, of a beginner yogi using YouTube resources to teach herself yoga. In 2027, I'll be going for a 200-hour teacher training. So in the meantime, I am trying to use all the resources that I can for free and get ahead of the curve. Yoga has meant a lot to me in terms of my healing, mental health, physical strength. It's a very deep practice for me. Last week I tried to film, but the sound on the video didn't come out, so we're gonna redo it. We're gonna do a yoga with Charnay video. I think it's a 25-ish minutes. Definitely more of a strengthy, vinyasa-y flow. It's not so much a restorative and yin flow. Fingers crossed. My body's been very sore the past few weeks. It's really easy to push yourself as a chronically ill, mentally ill person, and I always pay the consequences of that. So we can get into it, but yeah, again, thanks for being here. Welcome to week 29. And of course, the Wi-Fi. So we start with just some breath work. Sitting on this is how the instructor is sitting. Sitting on our legs like this. And then we start to build some energy with get some heat. I'm putting one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. I've done this in classes where you generate heat and you bring it to anywhere that you need a little bit of extra love. Okay, really just trying to get grounded. And now we're going into a tucked toes in, cat and cow to start. Exhale, curve your spine up. Inhale when you're inhaling, when you're expanding the volume of your lungs and stomach, and then you exhale. Exhale when you're crunching the lungs and stomach and chest cavity. I've been in like hyperactive task mode. It's just a giant coping skill to avoid feeling and avoid being grounded. But it is hard because life is big and life is busy. And there's lots to do. But it's, again, I really have to remember that a lot of that is just a distraction. Okay. All right, now we're going right into downward dog. So trying to get the heels to sink down into the floor, which is near impossible for me. And every time I go into downward dog, I really try to drop the shoulders and then drop the neck a little bit. Nod yes, nod no. Looking forward. Okay, so we're going to go into forward fold, but the instructor recommends we crisscross our legs forward, which I've never done before. That's very cute. Okay, so now we're going into forward fold. I'm a proponent of bending. It's the first forward fold of the day, so I'm very, very supportive of knees bent. Okay, halfway lift, forward fold again. Okay, now we're going up, so this is more of a sun salutation. Hands to heart center. We're going to generate some more heat with our hands again. Okay, a few more breaths just to arrive in a standing position. Making sure we're rooted in our feet. Such a good point. I always forget that the foundation is the most important, even if it's just standing or just sitting. Remembering our core and remembering our grounding is important. Now we're just taking a couple moments while we're standing instead of cat-cowing and noticing the differences of how our breath moves in our body. Really letting my gut hang out, even though today I feel pretty ashamed of my belly. I think I'm extra bloated and pudgy, and just letting it pass. Letting it hang out, sending it love, sending it gratitude, getting that negative self-talk out of here. All right. Now we're doing arms up, folding forward. Always trying to be mindful of the hips, bending at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Okay. I'm gonna going into plank with right foot back first, left foot back. Exhale down all the way, untuck the toes. What are we doing? Are we doing cobra? Oh, up dog. Lower back is pretty tight, but there's not a lot of pain, it just feels tight. Okay, now we're going back to down dog. So this is a pretty typical vinyasa flow. It's one that I feel always really flosses my body. I get in a lot of the nooks and crannies, and I feel that I gain a little bit of strength every time I do it. All right, crisscross all the way. Instead of what? Walk or hop to the top, it's crisscross to the top. All right, halfway lift. My knees are still bent. I'm trying to bring our bodies a little bit closer to the legs, however. Oh, we're lifting all the way up. Okay. Gazing up past our fingers. Back to heart center. Rocking a little bit, moving organically, somatically a little bit. Okay, back up. Folding down, hips forward first. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. I feel so tight in my back of my legs. Strong high plank. Exhale down, slow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. And when you're in down dog, I know it's really important to really spread out your fingers and have that flat hand on the ground. It can be challenging, it's an extra stretch, but that helps with it helps distribute the pressure and weight on your hands so it's not all in the wrists, which I struggle with because I have carpal tunnel. Slowly rising. A little bit different than arms up. That was a little bit rushed. All right, soft bend in the knees. Okay, we're doing a little move the hips in a figure 8 position just to open up the hips. You know, it's kind of embarrassing to do this on camera, but it does feel good. And there is something to trusting the body and letting it move how it needs to move. I think we should do it the opposite way. Didn't have time to do that. Couple in that way. Okay, now I think we're going into tree pose on the right side. So yeah, I haven't gotten to a tree pose where I can bring my foot to my upper thigh. Oh, excuse me. But I will put it on my calf. And I can balance here, and that's good. This is good for now. Adristi. So this is a new term when we're balancing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember this, but adristi is a term. It's the term for when you're trying to balance and you stare at one point that's not moving, and that helps you with your focus. Adristi. I'm not going to remember that, but that's cool. I didn't know there was a name for that. Okay. It's really cool when I can see the progress, like shaking it out, but I can see the progress from being able to just balance like that now. What are we doing? Looks like we're doing a warrior 2. Left foot to the front, point to the front and back. Right foot pointing to the 45 towards a 45-degree angle. Warrior 2 down in. Reverse warrior. Making sure my shoulders square out. Exhale, side angle. I'm sweating, man. Okay, exhale, reverse. Squaring out my shoulder. Exhale. It's really hard to stay in sync with breath and movement, especially when you're chit-chatting, but I feel like that's like what instructors do. Okay, so now we're doing a twist and making sure, you know, moving out the wrist, but making sure I stay grounded in my base. Okay, now we're going back to plank. Okay, exhale down. Inhale, up dog. Nope, that was a rebound breath. It's hard. Okay, and we're not gonna cross over, but we're gonna do forward fold. Back to forward fold. Halfway lift. Root to rise. I guess that's when you kind of go up vertebrae by vertebrae. Go. Hands up. Heart center. Yeah, warmth is definitely building in the body. I am getting a little sweaty. Okay. Rolling shoulders down and back. So now we're going back, I think, to tree pose. Really trying to stay present. I know I'm not trying to get my anterior tilt under control. So we're gonna do tree on the other side. Gonna just press into the shin for now. The dristi, I'm finding it. I'm staring at a picture on my wall. Okay, gonna lift my arms up. It's cute. This instructor notes that your arms are like the branches of a tree in this pose, and I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful and cool. And now I understand why it's called tree pose. Okay, shake it out. Okay, I'm gonna do warrior and stuff on the other side. Okay, so right toe straight forward, or towards the back technically, and left foot at a more or less 45-degree angle. Going down, sinking. Is it left arm down? Reverse warrior. Look towards the sky, square your shoulder. Exhale, siding. Literally just moving your arms outward in the basic movement is a workout. Exhale, side warrior, side stretch. Okay, now we cartwheel into a twist. Right arm up. It always feels unnatural facing this way. Okay, vinyasa down. Inhale. Upward dog. Exhale. Back to down dog. Really, it says open mouth exhale, which is interesting. And it really does focus you to get out the extra air and the extra focus. Trying to stay present in downward dog when I'm fidgeting a lot. Okay, going back to forward fold. I'm gonna go back to the regular orientation on the mat. Okay, now we're grabbing our toes. Oh, and like flattening our back halfway this way and then folding back down. Interesting. Okay, root to rise. Stacking the vertebrae. Arms up. Man. I've been sweating. Summer's been brutal. Okay, and this is a morning-oriented intentional flow. So the sun salutation is really about greeting yourself and greeting the day. The instructor's talking about, how important it is to be building rituals and touching base with yourself before you go to work and take care of your family. I'm trying to trust thoughts and just pour into yourself a little bit. Okay, exhale, fold. Trying to keep the knees straight this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Okay, back to plank, and then left foot lead this time. Okay. Okay, now we're back to child's pose. Balasana. It's the best when you know, if you're not going back into a downward dog and you go to child's pose, you're starting to signal to your body that practice is winding down a little bit, which I really appreciate. And it's also like a little bit for me like a breath of relief that the harder part or the more intensive part of the flow is over, and we can start to pivot to restfulness instead of, strengthening. Child's pose is always the best, although I do feel it on my shoulders, and I don't know what muscle this is, but this muscle on the outside of my upper arm. And it's nice. The instructor is reminding us to really feel the earth, feel your hands and your forearms on the earth, and your feet and your legs on the earth. Your forehead on the earth, and just, earth has always got our back. Earth is always there. The ground is always there. We have solid ground to stand on, at least physically, maybe not always metaphorically. Okay. Walking the hands back to a kneeling position. Okay, we're doing a little bit of a backward bend here. Okay, so we're doing some like seated cat-cows. Feels really good on the back of the neck. Feel it in my lower back too when I'm in the seated cow or cat. I feel it even in the front of my neck too. Freaking bodies hold on to so much. Not always just trauma, just literally like walking and gravity. Okay, so we're doing some winding down to supine, which means laying down positions. And once we kind of get there, she's encouraging us to do a big sigh of relief. Okay, just getting comfy. Bring the knees to chest. And do some rocking and massaging the lower back. Okay, so now we're kind of like moving the knees away and bringing them in, doing it in circles. That feels really good. Massaging the lower back, the sacrum, which deserves a lot of attention. Okay, what are we doing now? Okay, doing somewhat of a happy baby. Into what? A reclined bound ankle position. Oh, I think this is reclined butterfly, essentially. My hips always pop when I do this. My hips are so inflexible. Still, even documenting this yoga journey for 7-8 months now, and still the hips. I don't know. Could probably do for some physical therapy or some sort of evaluation on them. There's not a lot of pain. They're just very stiff, and it definitely shows up in like a forward fold. Like, no way am I near splitting or hitting any of the ground much at all. Okay. Now we're doing some like present breath, so feeling the stomach expand when we breathe in, letting it sink when we exhale. Okay, now we're doing some box breathing, which is really hard to talk through. It's like inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. And then just let the rest out. Blah. Instructor's very much like, whatever surfaces. I'm not feeling a lot of emotion or somatic. I'm not getting chills or any sensations in my body besides my hip right now. I think sometimes it's because, I get that in a private practice when I'm in here by myself, but I don't get that when I'm chit-chatting through it and reacting. So it's not the full experience, but this is teaching and it's teaching me to talk through it, and even just like, using some of the words that other instructors use and synthesizing your own narrative over time kind of, I think, will be very helpful as my own instructor, and making sure I pick and choose from different instructors and getting different perspectives and keeping it diverse. Spreading the fingertip. What are we doing? Oh, okay, we're doing Savasana now. I didn't even realize we were supposed to have our legs straight. Okay. Oh, I think I was chit-chatting too much. Okay. Now let's do kind of pulling ourselves up. Okay. Moving into an easy seat, pushing ourselves up. Arms rise up, palms together, sealing the practice. That's so nice. She's framing this as like, here's a flow you can use to build a ritual and check in, and yeah, emphasizing pouring into yourself just a little bit sometimes, but yeah. Okay, so that was week 29. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Feel free to follow me, like me, subscribe to me for the journey of becoming a yoga instructor. Yeah, thank you again, Charnay. Beautiful flow. I'll catch you next week for the big 3-0. Woo!